Are you serious right now? That's exactly what I yelled when I caught my neighbor, our infamous HOA president, Karen, hooking up a hose to my sprinkler line. Yep, you heard that right. She wasn't just stealing water, she was literally siphoning it straight from my system to water her own yard. At first, I thought it was some kind of mistake. Maybe she didn't realize. Maybe she thought it was a community spigot. But nope. She knew exactly what she was doing. And she had the nerve to smile at me and say, "Oh, don't worry, you've got plenty. I'm just borrowing a little." Borrowing? From my water bill? That was the moment I knew. I had to teach Karen a lesson. And the best way to do it? With a little mixture of vinegar and dye. Let me back up. I live in one of those neighborhoods where everything looks perfect on the outside. Manicured lawns, matching fences, flower beds straight out of a magazine. But the truth? It's basically a war zone run by the HOA. And leading the charge was, you guessed it, Karen. She loved to fine people for the smallest things. A lawn gnome? Against regulations. A basketball hoop in the driveway? Against regulations. Even leaving your garbage cans out too long could earn you a bright yellow violation notice taped to your door. But here's the thing about Karen. She had no problem breaking the rules herself. She just expected everyone else to follow them. Her grass was green, sure, but not because she worked for it. Nope. Because she was stealing water. I started noticing my water bills climbing. Way higher than normal. At first, I thought maybe I had a leak. I even called a plumber to check. But everything was fine. Then one evening, I came home early from work and heard it, the hiss of sprinklers running. Only, it wasn't my yard being watered. It was hers. And there, tucked behind the shrubs, was a hose connected to my underground sprinkler line, snaking across to her yard like some kind of garden umbilical cord. I couldn't believe it. When I confronted her, she brushed me off with that smug little smile. "Oh, don't be so uptight," she said. "It's just water. Besides, your lawn doesn't need as much as mine. I'm hosting the HOA garden party this month. You should be grateful I'm keeping the neighborhood looking good." Grateful. She actually said I should be grateful. I tried reasoning with her. I really did. I asked politely. I left notes. I even emailed the HOA board, but of course, since she was the president, my complaints mysteriously disappeared. Weeks went by. My bills kept climbing. Every time I walked past her house, I saw her garden looking like the cover of Better Homes and Gardens while my yard looked average. Finally, one Saturday morning, I caught her red-handed again. Hose hooked up. Sprinklers running full blast. "Karen," I snapped. "This is theft. You can't keep doing this." She rolled her eyes. "Oh, please. Don't be dramatic. Water is free from the earth. You're just paying the city to bring it here. And honestly, if you can't afford your bill, maybe you should cut back on your Netflix subscription." That was it. That was the final straw. She wasn't just stealing my water, she was mocking me while doing it. So I came up with a plan. If she wanted to keep stealing from my sprinkler line, then she was going to get a little surprise the next time she borrowed it. I did some research. Vinegar, as it turns out, is harmless to sprinkler pipes but nasty for grass. It burns it if it's concentrated enough. And food coloring dye. Completely safe, but it stains. So one night, while Karen was busy inside watching her reality shows, I hooked into the same line she was stealing from and poured in a special mixture. 1 part vinegar, 1 part bright green food dye, and just enough water pressure to push it into the hose. Then I waited. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of sprinklers again. I peeked through my blinds and nearly laughed out loud. Karen's pristine front yard was being sprayed down, not with clear water, but with a faintly green-tinted mist. At first, she didn't notice. She was outside sipping her coffee, admiring her flowers. But within minutes, the dye started to show. Her white hydrangeas had streaks of green. Her perfect walkway was spotted. And her once fluffy little Pomeranian, who decided to frolic in the sprinkler spray, now looked like something out of a Dr. Seuss book, bright green paws and all. And then the smell hit. Vinegar. Strong, sour, unmistakable. I watched as Karen wrinkled her nose, ran over to her garden, and realized something was very, very wrong. She screamed. She yelled for her husband. She tried to turn the sprinklers off, but not before half her yard had been soaked. The green dye had already seeped into the soil, leaving big blotches. And the vinegar? Well, let's just say her award-winning roses didn't look so award-winning after that. Not even 20 minutes later, she was pounding on my front door. "You did this!" she shrieked, pointing at her stained hands. "You ruined my yard." I raised an eyebrow. "My yard? Or your yard that's been stealing my water for months?" She froze. "You can't prove that," she snapped. "Oh, really?" I said, holding up my phone. I had video recordings of her sneaking into my yard, connecting her hose, and even laughing about it on her phone with a friend. Her face went pale. "You wouldn't dare," she whispered. "Oh, I would," I said. "And the HOA board might be interested too. After all, if the president is caught stealing water, that doesn't exactly look good for the neighborhood's reputation." Word spread fast. First, she tried to cover it up. She told neighbors her grass had a fertilizer accident. But once the pictures of her green dog started making the rounds, the story fell apart. The HOA board, embarrassed and fed up, forced her to step down. She lost her precious title. No more power trips. No more fines. And the best part? She had to pay to fix the damage. Between replacing plants, scrubbing walkways, and reseeding grass, it cost her thousands. Meanwhile, my water bills went back to normal. Every time I walk past her house now, I can't help but smile. Her yard isn't nearly as lush as it used to be. She doesn't dare hook into my line anymore. And the new HOA president? Way more reasonable. No more nitpicking. No more ridiculous fines. It's peaceful again. So, what's the lesson here? It's simple. Don't steal what isn't yours. Karen thought she was untouchable because she wore the crown of HOA president. She thought my water bill didn't matter. She thought her reputation was more important than doing the right thing. But in the end, her greed left her with stained flowers, a green dog, and a ruined title. And me? I got justice, with a little help from vinegar and food dye. And that's how Karen finally learned the hard way that stealing water isn't just wrong. It can literally stain your yard, your pets, and your reputation. Now, here's what I want to know from you. If you caught someone sneaking into your yard and stealing water from your sprinkler system, what would you do? Would you go the petty revenge route like I did, or would you confront them directly? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading and replying to as many as I can. And if you had fun listening to this wild HOA drama, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button so more people can find these stories, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell too, because trust me, you don't want to miss the next story. I've got plenty more HOA nightmares and petty revenge tales coming your way. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and until next time, stay smart, stay kind, and don't let anyone steal your water or your peace of mind. I'll see you in the next story.